Okay, so let's go to the revision class of this paper. It is content development. Okay, so in this session, I will be just covering through all the important points from the unit 1 to unit 4. So each and every topics I will be just covering a brief layout. Okay, so I will share my screen. Okay, so uh, So the first we will start with the unit one, that is content development. Okay. So in this chapter we will be seeing about what is meant by content development and what are the different content management systems. Okay. And also along with this we will be seeing about the different content management creation strategy and what are the tools by which we can also create the content. Okay. So what is basically a content management is nothing but a content management refers to the process of creating, organizing, storing, managing digital content in systematic and efficient manner. Okay, so what is content management is really is the process of creating. So how do you create a content, how do you organize a content, and how we store a content and manage the digital content in a systematic and efficient manner. Okay, so basically content management is nothing but how do we create, how do we organize, how do we store, and how do we manage those digital content. Okay, so here we are taking the content in the form of digital format. Okay, so the content what we are going to create in all the digital format will be in the format of text, images, videos, document, and other type of information that is relevant to any organization or any individual. Okay, so the content whatever we are going to create will be in the digital formats. Okay, so the digital formats include, can be in the form of text, can be in the form of images, can be in the form of videos, document. Okay, and where the to whom the content will be belonging, the content will be relevant to the organization or any individual. Okay, so the content management system is often used to facilitate the content management. A content management system platform provide tools and features that allow users to easily create, edit, and publish content without requiring extensive technical knowledge. Okay, so for creation of a content, to manage the content, to make it store the content, okay, and make it to publish the content. Publish the content is nothing but making it publicly available to the other users, to the world wide web. Okay, so for doing all this process, a user need not to be have a extensive technical knowledge. Instead, he can have a basic technical knowledge of how to create a content, how to manage a content, how to store a content, and how to publish the content that is necessary for managing a content management system. They typically offer features like version control, workflow management, collaboration tools to streamline the content creation and publishing process. Okay, so here the version control is nothing but where a content is being created for today will be of certain version, and when it is created in a another particular period, okay, another 5 days or 1 week or tomorrow. Okay, so that will be the second version. Okay, so typically the features like version control, workflow management, how does the process flow? Okay, the workflow management and collaboration tools to streamline the content creation and publishing process. What are the tools we make to collaborate among the others, collaborate with others to manage the content and to publishing this content. Okay, so this basically termed as the content management system. The primary goal of the content management includes ensuring that content is accurate, up to date, and easily accessible to the intended audience. Okay, so we should make sure the content whatever we are creating is being accurate and it is up to date to the current scenario and easily accessible to the intended audience. So our audience is the primary important information in creating of content. So whatever content we are creating should be easily achieve, it should be easily reaching to this audience. It also involves maintaining consistency in branding and messaging across different channels. Okay, so we should also manage how we are consistent and we should also find different channels how we are communicating with others. Content management is crucial for websites, intranet, blogs, and various digital platforms to effectively communicate information and engage with others. So through content management, what you can do, you can able to create a website, you can able to create blogs, and also you can create various digital platforms by which you can effectively communicate information with others, and also you can make users to engage with us. Okay, so these are the basic things of content management. So what are the different steps involved in content management? First, you have to do a content creation, and you have to do a content organization. You have to organize or structure the content, and content storage. Where do you store the content? Okay, and content workflow, defining the process and workflow for content creation, review, approval, and publication. Okay, so how do you process the content, and how do you create the content? How you make a reviewer? Who is going to approve it? Who is going to publish it? Okay, so for all these things, you should have a workflow. Okay, so that is content workflow. And version control, keeping track of different versions of content to manage changes, updates, and revision. Okay, so you should have different versions of content management system also. And you should have a collaboration, facilitating collaboration among team members involved in content creation. So when you're in a team, you should work together to form the content. And access control, managing permissions and access levels to control who can create, edit, publish, or delete content. So we should define, as an administrator, we should define who is going to manage the content, who is going to create, who is going to edit, who is going to publish all those content, and who should be given the authority for doing all these things. Okay, that will be coming under the content of access control. And next is publishing and distribution, the process of making content available to the intended audience. Who is our audience? Okay, so we should find who is our target audience. So based upon the target audience, we should define the content. We should also create the content. Analytics and performance monitoring, monitoring and analyzing the performance of content to gain insights into effectiveness. So we should also find what are the performances of the creating the content, how it reaching the audience, what about the feedback. Okay, based upon this, we should monitor, and also we should analyze the performance. Archiving and retention, archiving and retention, establishing policies and procedures for archiving and retaining content, especially in compliance with the legal and regulatory requirement. Okay, so whenever we are going to publish any content in digital format in World Wide Web, or is going to public domain, we should have the proper legal authority and regulatory requirements within it. Okay, we should mention the proper copyright license. We should also mention the proper licensing aspect. Okay, whether it is CC or CC BY. Okay, so we should mention the proper authority and the legal requirement required for all the creation of the content. Okay, so next is what is content management system. So content management system leave. Right. So the content management system is nothing but is a software application or set of related programs that used to create, manage the digital content. Okay, it allows user to easily author, edit, organize, and publish content on the web without requiring specialized technical knowledge of web programming or markup languages like HTML. Okay, so for creation of content, okay, in afternoon class we will be seeing about the Drupal, which is a content management system. Okay, so for installation of Drupal and for creating the content using Drupal, one does not require the more technical knowledge of scripting languages or the programming languages, web programming languages. Okay, so one needs to understand the basic ICT applications. Okay, how to install a program. So that is most important. Okay, so for creation, for editing, authorizing, and publishing content on the web, without requiring specialized technical knowledge of web programming or markup languages, basic knowledge is enough for making all this content creation in the World Wide Web. And what are the key features of the content management system include? Content creation and editing. Users can create, edit, and format content, user-friendly user interfaces similar to your word processor. Okay. Content organization, how the content are being organized in the form of tags, folders for easy navigation and retrieval. And user management, different levels of access and permissions can be assigned to users, allowing for collaborative content creation and management. Okay, so different levels of access. Okay, there can be a multiple level of access, or there can be a two level of access: top level management, middle level management, and lower level management. Okay, so based upon this, there can be the access can be defined by each and every levels. And version control. Content management system offers provide version capabilities, allowing users to track the changes made to content over time and revert to the previous version if needed. So if they require a previous version to be considered for any updation, they can also go back to the previous version. Okay. And publishing. Content can be easily published or unpublished based on predefined schedules or user discretion. Okay, so either the content can be published or it can be unpublished. It can be stored in a unpublished form or predefined schedules. They can define a particular schedule on which the content should be published. Okay, so this will be taken care of the publishing. And template based design. Many content management systems use templates or themes to control the appearance of the website, providing users with the ability to change the look, feel without affecting the underlying content. Okay, so we can have a certain template for designing those content. Okay, so in afternoon class you'll be seeing Drupal where there's a predefined templates existing in the World Wide Web which we'll be downloading and just uploading. Okay, so once we start uploading, the entire content whatever we created will change according to their themes. Okay, so that is the making use of the themes or the template which is existing. And plugins and extensions. Content management systems typically support plugins or extensions that extend functionality, such as adding e-commerce capabilities, search engine optimization tools, and integration with third-party services. Okay, so in content management platforms also we can add more plugins. Okay, some of the plugins which are e-commerce capabilities. If you want to add any e-commerce website and search engine optimization tools. Okay, and also if we want, we can add the any third-party services applications. Okay, that also is possible in terms of content management platforms. And search engine optimization friendly. Good CMS platforms are designed with search engine optimization in mind, making it easier to optimize content for better visibility on search engines. Okay, so nowadays this Google, Yahoo, and all the search engines are working on the concept of ranking. Okay, so whenever a web page is getting more ranking, it will be displayed at the top of the result page. Okay, so similarly, a good content management system with good search engine optimization in mind, making it more easier to optimize the content for better visibility. So when you are going to make it more optimized with the concept of search engine optimization, it will have more visibility on other search engines also. And the popular content management platform include WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, Magento, Shopify. Okay, so here are some of the open source content management system which are being used. Okay, so we will be working on this Drupal in the afternoon class. So how does this content management system comes into existence? Okay, so just I will go through this slide alone. This content management system started from 1990s. Okay, and then the evolution of the computer graphics interface and the server-side solutions in 1990s, and then the open source content management system came into existence in the early 2000s. Okay, and then the dominance of the WordPress. Okay, so WordPress came into the year 2000 and it has been dominated in large part. And specialized content management system came into existence from the year 2000 to 2010. Okay, and then the existence of the cloud-based content management system. So cloud-based content management system is nothing but where we are going to work on the cloud and all the softwares will be installed in the cloud platform and all the content whatever we are going to create will be in the cloud. Okay, so it does not require any local drives or any local servers for installation. And headless content management system, which is the current concept, it came into existence from the year 2010 to present. So headless content management system architectures have gained popularity. These systems separate the content management backend from the front-end presentation layer, allowing for greater flexibility in content delivery across various devices and platforms. Okay, so headless CMS is also a part of the cloud-based content management system, where the server side will be on the cloud and only the client side, that is the front-end presentation layer, we can able to view. Okay, which allows for greater flexibility and in content delivery across various devices and platforms. So using this headless content management system, the content can be viewed in various devices using mobile phones, tablet, laptops. Okay, and in various platforms also, in various operating systems and in various platforms also, we can able to use this headless content management system. So next comes what are the different types of the content management system. So basically there are some 7 type of content management system, and the first type is the traditional content management system. So here the most common type of content management system is the content management system handles both the content management and content presentation in a single integrated platform. So here you can find both the content management, one who is going to manage the content, and content presentation for publishing in a single platform. And WordPress, Joomla, Drupal are some example. And in headless content management system, this separates the content management backend where the content is created and stored from the front-end presentation layer. Okay, so as I mentioned in the previous slide, a headless content management system will have a backend. That is you can term it as a server side where the content is being created and stored, and in the front end, that is the user side where the user is going to view the content, will be in the front end presentation layer. Content is stored in the backend database or repository and is accessed via API, applet programming interfaces, allowing it to be delivered to various front end platforms such as websites, mobile apps, or IoT devices. So the content will be on the server side and the user will be viewing only the presentation layer or the user interfaces. Offers greater visibility and scalability, and some of the examples have been given here. Next is decoupled content management system. So decoupled content management system is nothing but similar to headless CMS, decoupled content management system separates the backend and front end, but still provides some control over the presentation layer. Okay, so this decoupled content management system is combination of the traditional content management system and headless content management system, where the backend and front end are separated, but still we have some control over the presentation layer. Okay, we can have some control. That means we can able to make some modifications, we can able to make the changes in the user interfaces, so that can be done in the presentation layer itself. So this is an example of both the seamless, that is headless content management system and traditional content management system. While the content management backend is decoupled, the content management system may provide tools or frameworks for building the front end, offering more control and customization compared to headless content management system. And here are some of the examples. And the fourth one is the enterprise content management system. Here, designed for large organizations with complex content management needs, including workflow management, document management, and collaboration features. So here, this is mainly designed for institutions or organizations with the larger workload. Okay, here where they can find complex content management needs, whether they have to regularly upload the content or if they have more content to upload. Okay, so in that case, enterprise content management system can be used, including the workflow management, document management, and collaboration features. Okay, here you can find some of the examples of SharePoint, Adobe Express Viewer Manager, Liferay. Okay, and the fifth one is the component content management system. Here focuses on managing granular content component or chunks rather than entire document or pages. So here it concentrates only certain few aspects rather than contributing on the entire document. Often used in technical documentation, e-learning, product catalog, where content reuse and version controls are critical. So whenever there is a product catalog, there should be a continuous revision existing. Okay, so here instead of concentrating on the entire document, a particular content can be concentrated. So here this is an example of component content management system. And web experience management. So web experience management emphasizes personalized user experiences, targeting and optimization, integrates content management with digital marketing tools for A/B testing, analytics, and targeting, and some of the other examples. And blog content management system, specialized content management system platforms focused on creating and managing the blogs, typically include features such as post scheduling, commenting system, RSS feed management, and some of the example is WordPress. Okay, here we use post scheduling where we are going to schedule for further for delay in publishing, commenting system for comments, and RSS feed to get important information in our email. Okay, so this is an example of a blog CMS. So these are the different type of content management system. It starts with traditional content management system and headless content management system, decoupled content management system, enterprise content management system, and next is component content management system, web experience management, and blog content management system. Okay, so those are the different types. So next comes how to create a content, how a content is being created, or what are the steps involved in creation of a content. So creation of a content, first and foremost thing is audience identification. First, we have to identify who are the audience for which the content is going to be created, and goal setting. So we should define certain clear and measurable goals for the content strategy. Okay, so what are the clear goals? Examples include increasing brand awareness, driving website traffic, generating leads, improving engagement, or boosting sales. So this is an example of an e-commerce site. Okay, so in e-commerce site we should see increasing brand awareness. We should increase the brand awareness, driving web traffic based upon the traffic on the web. We should see who is accessing more, and generating the leads, improving engagement, or boosting sales. We have to improve the boosting scales, and also we should boost the engagement with the audience. Okay, so these are the basic goal setting of the content strategy. And content planning. So after setting the goal, you should plan the content, determine the type of content that will resonate with your target audience and help achieve your goals. So what are the content, what type of content we should make so that it reaches to the correct audience? This may include blog posts, articles, videos, infographics, podcasts, case studies, white papers, social media posts, etc. So these are different types of content by which it should attain the maximum aim. The maximum aim of the content creation is to it should convey the proper meaning to the targeted audience. Develop an editorial calendar or content calendar to plan and organize your content creation schedule. This helps in maintaining consistency and ensure that content is being published regularly. So for planning the content, we should also have a content calendar where we can able to plan and organize the content. Keyword research and search engine optimization. Conduct keyword search to identify the relevant topics and keywords that your audience is searching for. So, in case of e-commerce shopping websites, if we just put on a mobile devices as a keyword, it shows all the mobile devices which it has. Okay, so that is an example of a keyword search. And optimize your content for search engines by incorporating targeted keyword words naturally into your content, optimizing metadata and descriptions, ensuring technical search engine optimization best practices are followed. So you have to optimize your content in case of search engine optimization so that it reaches a correct audience, and also the use of those keywords is main essential in the content creation strategy. And next is the content creation. How do you create a content? Produce high quality content, valuable content that educates, entertain, and solve problems for your audience. Okay, so you should provide a good quality content, and you should provide a valuable content for the audience. Maintain consistency in voice, tone, and branding across all content channels. So wherever you are going to create the content of a single product, you should maintain the same voice, the same tone, and branding across all content channels. And next is content distribution. How do you distribute the content to the users? Identify the most effective channel and platforms for distributing your content based on where your audience is active and engaged. So based upon the targeted audience, first we should find the channels through which our content can be delivered, and also the platforms for distributing the content. So this may include your website, blog, social media platforms, email, newsletters, guest blogging, industry forum, etc. These are the different platforms by which a content can be delivered to the targeted audience. Tailor your content to each platform and audience, optimizing formats, messaging, and timing for maximum impact. Okay, so we have to optimize the content. Optimize means we have to modify the content regularly. We have to make updated editions. Okay, proper version control should be there, proper management of the content should be there, so that it reaches the correct platform, correct audience to correct platform, and the it also makes the maximum impact. And next is promotion and amplification. Develop a promotion strategy to increase the reach and visibility of your content. So we have to also monitor the content, or if we want to add certain elements to the content so that it reaches the correct audience. And measurement and analysis. Track key performance indicators to evaluate the success of your content strategy. This may include metrics such as website traffic, engagement traffic, conversion rates, leads generated, and ROI. So we should find what are the key performance indicators. Okay, some of the key performance indicators are website traffic, engagement metrics. Okay, so like we have to see who has given the more likes, who has given the more shares, more comment in YouTube. Like, okay, so there if we find, so that means our content is being read by many people. Our content is being accessed by many users. So we are attaining our target audience. Okay, and also we can use some of the analytical tools to gain insights into audience behavior, content performance, and areas for improvement. Adjust your content strategy based on data-driven insights to optimize the results over time. So using these analytical tools, we can able to find the audience behavior for the content, and also we can see how the audience behave performance for the content, how the content is being performed, and also we can also find some of the areas for improvement in designing the content. Okay, so these are the different content creation strategy, how a content is being created. First we have to find the audience, then we have to set up the goals, then we have to plan for the content, then we have to go for keyword research and search engine optimization, then we have to create the content, and we have to distribute the content. So once we distribute the content, then we have to go for promotion and amplification, and we have to find the measurement, how the response is. Okay, and next is the content marketing strategy. How do you market the content? So content marketing strategy involves creating, distributing, and promoting valuable, relevant content to attract and engage a target audience. Okay. So through which we can able to attain the marketing strategies through content strategy. What is this? Define your target audience and buyer personas, set clear goals and objectives for your content, conduct keyword research to identify topic of interest, determine the types of content you will create, that is we are going to create, establish a content calendar to plan and organize your content. Okay, first we have to set the target, who is our target audience, then we have to set up the goals and objectives, then we have to set up a keyword optimization, then we have to do the type of analyze the content, what type of content we are going to create, and then we have to establish a plan, that is plan a calendar for organizing all those content and creation of this content. And next is content creator. Create high quality valuable content that address the needs and interest of the users, maintain consistency and incorporate multimedia elements. Some of the multimedia elements are image, videos, infographics to engage engagement. Okay, instead of creating a text alone content, sometimes we have to add some images, sometimes we have to add some videos. Okay, to make sure the audience are fully engaged with the content. And content distribution, how do you distribute? Identify the most effective channels and platforms, tailor your content, and then schedule an automatic content distribution to maintain consistency. And promotion application, same thing what you have seen in the previous slide. How do we make the promotion amplification? To increase the reach and visibility to the content, share the content on social media platforms, and collaborate with influencers and industry platforms to amplify your content, that is to boost your content. Okay, and measurement and analysis, track key performance indicators. So how do we find the track indicators? That is simple, we will find using the website traffic or the engagement traffic, and then conversion rates. And some of the tools where we can use is Google Analytics, Adobe Analytics. So using these analytics platforms also, we can able to find the web traffic and the engagement metrics also. Okay, and how do we optimize the content? Continuously optimizing your content based on data driven insights and feedback, experiments with the different format, topics and distribution channels, using A/B testing and experimenting to refine your content strategy over the time. And content repurposing, repurpose existing content into different formats, is to the measure is to extend its reach and maximize its values, turn blog posts into videos, podcasts, and infographics, use experts from long form content as social media posts or email newsletters. So how do you repurpose the content? Repurpose using existing content into different formats. So we will convert the existing content into different format and we will make a distribution of those content. Okay. So by incorporating all these elements, we can able to market our content, the content whatever we are going to create, we can able to market those content to achieve its goal. Okay. So achieving its goal is nothing but achieving the content has to be achieved to the targeted audience. So by using these different steps, we can able to market the content whatever we are going to create. Okay. So here I've given some of the content marketing tools by which we can able to market our content. Use this Canva, Grammarly, Hemingly, by which we can able to create the content. And Grammarly, we can able to make rephrase the content, make any modifications in the content, punctuation error, grammatical errors can be done. And content planning can be done using CoSchedule, Trello, Asana, Soci. These are some of the content management tools. Okay. And content distribution can be done using Buffer, Hootsuite, Mailchimp. Content analytics, so in previous slides we have seen the Google Analytics, Adobe Analytics. Okay, so using this we can able to find the web traffic and the engagement metrics also. And content optimization, how do you optimize the content? Optimizely, Google Optimize and Visual Website Optimizer. By using these tools we can able to make the content optimization. And how do we make a content collaboration and workflow? By using a Google Drive, Dropbox, Slack, where we can able to share our content with others so that we can achieve the content collaboration. Content repurposing, automatically repurpose our audio and video content in different formats. So we are going to convert the existing format into different file formats. So for that we are using repurpose.io is another content management or content repurposing software. Okay, Snap, Wave Video. Okay, so these are some of the content marketing tools by which we can able to market our content to achieve its aim. Okay, so these are the things which are in the first unit, which covers what is content management system and what is content management, how do we create a content management, how do we plan a content management. Okay, so what are the different content management systems available, and what are the different content creation strategy, and what are the different content creation strategy tools, how do we market the content, and what are the content marketing tools. Okay, so this is up to the first unit. In second unit, we will be seeing about what is e-learning and the types of e-learning, advantages of e-learning and all. Okay, so Okay, so this second unit is deals about the e-learning. Okay, so in e-learning, this unit we will be seeing about what is e-learning and what are the different types of e-learning. Okay, and what are the methods we will be applied in developing all this e-learning technology. So e-learning is nothing but evolution of educational technology, where from manuscript it has been evaluated to the uh, online learning. Okay, or we can term it as e-learning. Okay, so here the e-learning mode or in the blended mode, the earlier mode where you use chalk and board has no longer ruled the classroom will not be eliminated and less emphasized. Okay, even though the e-learning platform has been introduced, but then also the chalk and board has no longer ruled the platform. And in interactive learning, in the e-learning, we have more emphasis on demand learning, and it will be more interactive in case of the e-learning mode. E-learning mode. Okay. So what is an e-learning? E-learning, short for electronic learning, refers to the use of electronic technologies, particularly the internet, to facilitate learning outside of traditional classroom setting. So when your users want to learn out from outside the classroom or through distance education, through open learning, okay, in that case, e-learning comes into the picture. It encompasses a wide range of educational activities conducted online, including online courses, virtual classrooms, digital resources, and interactive learning modules. Okay, so what are the basic characteristics of e-learning? Okay, so what are the basic characteristics is nothing but it is learner-centric learning and lifelong learning, flexible learning, and it is also social learning, involves learning objects, personalized, involves effective communication. So here the learner is being centered. Okay, so it is a face-to-face or one-to-one communication also we can say, and it is also a lifelong learning, and we have a flexible learning in the e-learning application or the characteristics of the e-learning. Okay, so what are the different advantages of e-learning? So basic advantages are nothing but accessibility. Okay, e-learning allows individuals to access educational materials and courses from anywhere within the internet connection, making it especially beneficial for those who are unable to attend. Okay, so in the session also we can find only few students are attending. Okay, so those who could not able to attend, they can make use of the recorded lectures which is being done in this session. Okay, so this is the main advantages of the e-learning. And flexibility, learners can often study at their own place and at their own schedule, enabling them to balance their education with work, family, and other responsibilities. Okay, individual learning needs and preferences. Okay, so we can make the modifications in the content. We can able to make the personalized learning experiences using this e-learning. Interactivity, e-learning often incorporates multimedia elements such as videos, animations, interactive simulations, enhancing engagement and comprehension. Okay, we can able to incorporate many multimedia elements into the e-learning platform. And scalability, online courses and resources can be easily scaled to accommodate large number of learners without the need for additional physical infrastructure or resources. Okay, so in the case of online courses and resources, it can be easily scaled to accommodate large number of learners. Okay, so if we have more number of learners, if for example in our bachelor course we have around 900 students. Okay, so it is difficult for 900 students to put together in a traditional setup. Okay, it is possible, but then we have to set up multiple classrooms. Okay, but through online lectures what we can do, we can able to engage more number of students in a single lecture. And next is e-learning types. What are the different types of e-learning? So in today's learning environment, there are two types of e-learning. One is synchronous and asynchronous e-learning. Okay, so synchronous e-learning is nothing but any learning tool that is in real time that allows students and teachers to ask the questions immediately. Okay, so students can ask the question and they can answer the questions immediately. Even the faculties can be able to ask the question and answer the questions immediately. Okay, so this learning is happening in real time. Classes occur on set of schedules and time frames. Okay, similarly what we are having now. So we have a planned schedule and we have the time frame. Students and instructors are online at the same time in synchronous class lessons, lectures, discussions, and presentations takes place at a specific hour. Okay, so here we have a lecture, we have a discussion, and we have a presentation that will be taking part in a specific hour. Students have to be present at the exact time to participate. Okay, so this session is being started by 10 a.m. in the morning. The students also has to be present at 10 a.m. in the morning. So the students have to be present at the exact time. These learning environments offer meaningful interactions in a face-to-face setting in time with the expectation that all students will be available to participate. Okay, so here we can have a face-to-face interaction, and also we will anticipate that the students will be available to participate for the sessions. Okay, so this is then synchronous learning. So in synchronous learning, which is happening in real time, which allow the students and the teachers to ask and answer the questions immediately. Okay, so this synchronous learning will be on a set of schedules and time frames. Okay, there will be a pre-planned schedule and there will be a pre-planned time frame for the session. Okay, this is a form of a synchronous in the form of asynchronous learning. So asynchronous learning, the students let complete their work on their convenient time. Okay, so in form of asynchronous learning, the students can do their work on their convenient time. Learning can be carried out even when the student or teacher is offline. So here we have a recorded lectures of this session. By using this recorded lectures, students at any time they can make a uh, go through of this recorded lectures. Okay, students are given a time frame. It's usually a 1 week or during which they need to connect to their class at least once or twice. So there will be a time frame by which they can connect in a 1 week or a duration period. The student is able to follow the curriculum at their own place without having to worry about the scheduling conflict. So without without no need to attend the session in the scheduled time frame. Instead, they can attend outside the time frame also. In asynchronous learning, students typically complete the lesson on their own and merely use the internet as a support tool rather than venturing online solely for interactive classes. So here the students typically complete the lessons on their own. Okay, and also they merely use the internet. The usage of internet is very less in the form of asynchronous e-learning. Instructor provide materials, lectures, text, and assignments be accessed at any time. So we can able to access the materials, the lectures, the notes at any time. Overall, students are free to contribute whenever they choose. Okay, they can contribute. They can have a enable a comment session at the end of the session, so that whenever they want to ask any questions, ask any query, they can able to contribute to the session. Many students need more time to form their thoughts or consider all the sides of an issue before opinion and offering an opinion. In many learning environments, there are learning activities and expectations that require students to create, synthesize, explain, and apply the content or skills being taught. Asynchronous technology support learning and allow more time for student reflection, collaboration, student to student interaction. So here we give more time in asynchronous learning, which is not a face-to-face learning, but it is a recorded lectures which can be accessed at any time. So here the students have more time for reflection and collaboration. Okay, and student to student interactions also. So these are the major difference between the synchronous learning and an asynchronous learning. So synchronous learning is nothing but where it happens in a real time, whereas asynchronous learning where it happens in a outside real time. Okay, so the recorded lectures are being used by the students to access what has happened in the class. Okay, so in synchronous e-learning we can have a face-to-face interaction and also we can ask and reply to the questions immediately. But whereas asynchronous learning, face-to-face interaction will be there, but asking and answering the questions will be a problem. Okay, so what are the methods for synchronous learning? So various methods we can have, that is live video conferencing, virtual classrooms also we can have webinars and live chat sessions we can have, interactive polls and quizzes, and virtual office hours. Okay, so by using this we can have a different methods of synchronous learning. And what are the advantages? Real-time interaction. So we have a real-time interaction with the teachers and the student. Clarification of concepts. Okay, so in real-time interaction, if a concept is not clear to a student, he can raise the query and he can raise the doubt so that the concept or the clarification is made immediately. Social learning opportunities. Synchronous learning provides opportunity for social interaction and collaboration among learners. Okay, so whenever there is a multidisciplinary student, they can able to collaborate among others. Structured learning environment. Live sessions provide a structured learning environment with set schedules and deadlines, helping learners stay organized and focused on their studies. So we have a proper schedule, structured schedule, so that the sessions will happen on that only schedule. Immediate feedback. Instructors can provide immediate feedback on assignments, quizzes, and questions posted during live sessions, enabling learners to address misconceptions and make corrections properly. So here we can have an immediate feedback session from the faculties and from the students, so that each assignments and quizzes and questions posted during live sessions can be attended. Increased engagement. The dynamic nature of synchronous learning, including live discussions, interactive activities, and multimedia presentation, helps to keep learners engaged and motivated throughout the session. So when we have a interactive session, when we have a synchronous mode of learning, there will be more engagement of the users in the session. So these are the basic advantages, and some other advantages are traditional classroom simulates the traditional classroom experiences and opportunities for personalized support, enhanced accountability, Okay, immediate access to resources. Okay, during live session, instructor can able to demonstrate tools and provide access to additional materials in real time. So if we have any issue with the software or any issue with the practical aspect or theory aspect, immediately the instructor can able to go through that software or go through that aspect, and he or she can be able to explain it immediately. Okay, so immediate access to various resources. And what is the limitation? Scheduled dependence. So based upon the schedule, pre-planned schedule, we have to depend upon it. Technical issues. Okay. So if we don't have a proper stable internet connection or functioning technology, it is difficult to make this synchronous mode of learning. Limited flexibility. Synchronous learning often lacks the flexibility of asynchronous learning, as learners may be adhered to fixed schedules for live sessions. Okay. So fixed schedules, it will be difficult for others who is having other engagements. Passive participation. Some learners may passively participate during synchronous learning, especially in large groups, leading to reduced engagement and interaction. So when there is a large group, so the less number of students will actively participate in the sessions. Okay, so other some of the limitations of synchronous learning is given here. And next we will go to what are the advantages of asynchronous learning. Okay, flexibility. So when there's a recorded lecture, we can use the recorded lecture at any time. Okay, self-paced learning. Asynchronous learning allows learners to progress the course material at their own pace, enabling them to spend more time on challenging concepts or review content as needed. So when there is a difficult concept, when there is a hard concept, so students can put more effort or invest more time in that concept to make it clear, and it is also called as a self-paced learning. Okay, accessibility. Asynchronous learning provides greater accessibility for learners with disabilities or those who require accommodation. So in real time, instead of a real-time application, real-time class lecture, asynchronous learning will be more useful for persons with disabilities or those who require more accommodation. Reduced dependency on synchronous communication. Learners are not bound by fixed schedules or live sessions, reducing reliance on real-time communication tools and mitigating issues related to technical glitches, time zone differences, on conflicting schedules. So this is a recorded lessons, recorded session. So there is no need for any real-time communication tools, or if there is any technical glitches or time zone differences. Okay, so those things can be avoided. Increased engagement. Learners have more time to reflect on course content, formulate toward responses, and engage in deeper discussions in asynchronous way. Enhanced focus. Without the pressure of keeping pace with live sessions, learners can dedicate uninterrupted time to focus on learning tasks, leading to better concentration and comprehension of the material. So instead of making more focused course on the real-time interaction, with these recorded lectures, they can able to learn on the self-paced learning, and also they can dedicate uninterrupted time to focus on learning tasks. So there is no interruption. They can have some interruption in their learning, self-paced learning, and also they can learn more things. Okay, so these are some of the advantages of asynchronous learning. So what are the basic limitations? Reduced social interaction, delayed feedback. So once the session is over, then we will have a delayed feedback for the session. Self motivation challenges, difficulty in making engagement, difficulty in having the users for the sessions. Limited opportunities for immediate clarification. So when there is a doubt or when there is a clarification required, the users cannot be able to clarify, or the faculty ask the queries to the concerned faculty or teacher instructor. Okay, so this will be a limitations in the asynchronous learning. Technological challenges. Instructor availability. Instructor may not be readily available to address the learners inquiries, provide support or facilities discussions in real time. Lack of personalized interaction. Asynchronous learning may lack the personalized interaction and tailored support that synchronous sessions can provide. Okay, so these are the basic limitations of the synchronous learning. So what are the different e-learning platforms are available in current scenario? Okay, so here I have given a few e-learning platforms: Canva, Moodle, Blackboard Learn, Google Classroom, edX, Coursera. So using this, we can able to have this e-learning platforms. Okay, and other e-learning platforms like Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, Skillshare, Khan Academy. Okay, these are the different e-learning platforms which are currently available in this scenario. Okay, so in this unit we have seen what is e-learning, and what are the different types of e-learning. We have seen what is meant by synchronous e-learning, and then what is meant by an asynchronous e-learning, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of synchronous e-learning, as well as the advantages and disadvantages of asynchronous e-learning. And also we have seen what are the limitations of the synchronous and asynchronous e-learning. Okay, So this is of the unit 2. And okay, so in unit 2 we have another part where we have the e-learning platforms. Okay, so here we have the different e-learning platforms. Just I will go through few e-learning platforms alone. And when you are speaking about the software, there are two types of software. One is a open source software and another proprietary software. Okay, so open source softwares are nothing but whose source are available for free. Okay, so there is a major difference between open source software and the free source software. Free software. Okay, open source softwares are available for free, and also we can able to modify the source code in which the source code is available to us, so we can make able to make the modifications in the source code. We have full authority to make the modifications. Okay, but in case of free softwares, where we can able to download and we can able to use it for free, we cannot able to make any modification. The source code is not available in the free software. Okay, proprietary softwares are nothing but which are the software which are of paid access. Okay, so here I have given few examples of an open source softwares, that is e-learning platform softwares, and here I have given an example of the property softwares. Okay, so this is an example of open source e-learning software, and this is an example of a property e-learning software. Okay, proprietary. And what are the features of an e-learning software? We can able to manage the course, we can able to create the content, we can able to communicate and collaborate. Assessment evaluation can also be done using an e-learning software, and customization and personalization. Users can able to manage integration and extensibility, accessibility, reporting and analytics. Okay, so these are the different aspects, or these are the different advantages, or these are the different steps, features which we can able to manage in the e-learning platforms. Okay, so Moodle is also an open source learning management system. So Moodle is nothing but modular object oriented dynamic learning environment. Okay. So what can we able to do in Moodle is we can able to create courses online and manage all the virtual learning environment. We can able to create, manage and deliver the course materials, assessment and activities online also. Okay. So these are the features which we can able to do it in the Moodle. Okay. So what are the features? We can able to manage the course, we can able to create the content, communication and collaboration can also be made, assessment and evaluation, customization and personalization. So these are the basic features of e-learning platform. Also, these are the basic features of a Moodle. Okay. So basically, Moodle can be done in two ways. One is a Moodle cloud and another self-hosted Moodle. Okay. What does mean by a Moodle cloud? It is a hosting service that offers a simplified and easy to organizations that do not want to manage their own Moodle installation. Moodle Cloud provides a quick and convenient way to set up an online courses without worrying about server management or technical details. Okay. So from the name itself, you can find Moodle Cloud is nothing but where a Moodle platform has been installed in the cloud. Okay, so that institution or an organization need not worry about having a server management or to be known about the technical details. Okay, so without having these two, they can able to manage a Moodle. Okay, what is meant by a self-hosted model? Self-hosted model is nothing but it refers to a traditional approach where organization or institution install and manage Moodle on their own server or hosting infrastructure. So those two are contradictory. One is a Moodle cloud, another is a self-hosted Moodle. Moodle cloud is nothing but where the Moodle is being set up in the cloud. Only the access will be given to the organization. But in a self-hosted model, all their servers and hosting infrastructure Some of the features like course management, content creation and delivery, communication and collaboration, assessment and grading, gradebook, integration extensibility, accessibility, mobile access. So few features are common for all the content manage all the e-learning platforms. Okay. So some of the common features are nothing but course management. How do you manage the courses? How do you create a content and how do you deliver it? That is destination or delivery. How do you communicate? Okay. How do you collaborate with others? How do you make the assessment evaluation part? How do you make the grading systems? Okay, integration, how do you integrate and how do you make the extensibility of the applications? Accessibility, how do you acquire the how do you access the applications? And mobile access, whether do you have a mobile application for the applications? Okay, so these are common features for all the e-learning platforms. Okay, and Sakai, Schoology. Okay, so other notable e-learning platforms apart from the e-learning platforms which was mentioned earlier, we have Google Classroom, D2L Brightspace, EndMode, Adobe Captive Prime, Talent LMS, Docebo. Okay, so these are the other notable e-learning platforms which are in existence. Okay, so here in this PPT, we have seen what is the different types of e-learning platform. Okay, so what are the features? What is the open learning platform? And what is the proprietary software? And what are the different features of a e-learning platform? Okay, and we have seen the different e-learning platforms applications. One is a Moodle, and we have seen the two types of Moodle. One is Moodle Cloud, and another is a self-hosted Moodle. And then we have seen what is meant by a Blackboard Learn, and we have seen Canvas, and we have seen Sakai and Schoology and other notable e-learning platforms also we have seen. Okay, so okay, so next we will be seeing about the um, unit 3. Okay, so before unit 3 is based upon the web-based technology. So before going to unit 3, I will just go to unit 4. Okay. Okay, so in unit 4, we will be seeing about what is meant by a semantic web, cloud computing, and neural networks. Also, the introduction of the World Wide Web in this unit 4 also. Okay, so what is typically a web? The term web often refers to the World Wide Web, which is a system of interlinked hypertext documents accessed via the internet. Okay, so World Wide Web is nothing but where we have interlinked hypertext document accessed via internet. Okay, so this is termed as a web. Okay, these documents typically formed in HTML or linked together by hyperlinks and can contain text, images, videos, and other multimedia elements. So not only links are provided, but the links can also contain text, images, videos, and other multimedia elements also will be in that links. Okay, that is termed as hyperlink. Okay, so basically web is nothing but it is a group of documents. Okay, in this document we have multiple type of file formats. So how big is web? As per worldwidewebsites.com, the indexed web contains at least 6.17 billion pages, which was extracted in the date 12th April 2024. At the point of that date, there were around 6.17 billions of pages, which is available in the World Wide Web. Okay, and some of the how the web can be accessed is LAN, MAN, and WAN, local area network, metropolitan area network, and wide area network. So local area network is nothing but which the internet will be accessed within the uh, institution or an organization. Okay, by using LAN connection. Okay, metropolitan area network is within the organization or within the institution, and wide area network is nothing but which is beyond the organization or beyond the institution where the introduction of the internet, World Wide Web is done. That is wide area network. Okay, so what is the internet? A global system of interconnected computer networks, a network of networks. Also, a network is termed as a collection of computers interconnected by communication channels. Okay, basically a network is nothing but a collection of computers interconnected by communication channels. So here you can find the multiple computers. Okay, node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4. Okay, and also you can find a server, and also you can find a printer. Okay, so all these are connected by a network. So a collection of computers interconnected by the communication channels is called as a network. Okay, how the transfer of files was done before the introduction of the World Wide Web or before the introduction of the web. So we use SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, or POP3 protocol for the email communication. For communicating through emails, we use the SMTP protocol or the POP3 protocol. And for file transfer, transferring of files, we use FTP, File Transfer Protocol. Okay, and for remote control, nowadays we use AnyDesk, which is working on this telnet protocol. That is okay for remote access. That is using this telnet protocol. Okay, so what happens after the introduction of the World Wide Web? So after the introduction of the World Wide Web, a system of interlinked hypertext documents was accessed via the internet. Okay, so here we can able to access all the links which are available in the World Wide Web. We can able to interlink hypertext document access. So all these documents can be accessed via the internet. Okay, and next is the architecture of the web. So what are the different architectures? One is a document, identifier, and protocol. So document is nothing but HTML markup language for displaying web pages and other information that can be displayed in a web browser. So hypertext markup language is HTML, where we have displaying web pages and other information that can be displayed in a web browser. Okay, so using HTML, we are going to design a web page. We are going to develop a web page which can be displayed in a web browser. So how do you identify? So the web page can be identified by using URL, a string of characters used to identify a name or a resource. Okay, so URL is nothing but uniform resource locator. An example is http colon double slash www.google.com. Okay, so this is an example of an URL. Okay, a string of characters used to identify a name or a resource. So you can identify by using http colon www.google.com. It is a Google website. Okay. And what is a protocol? HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, an application protocol for distributed collaborative hypermedia information system. So we need protocols, okay, for exchange of information from one system to another system. So in that we use an application protocol for distributive collaborative hypermedia information systems. Okay, so this is an example HTTP protocols. So HTML describes how information is presented, displayed, and linked for human readers. Okay, HTML describes how the information is being presented, displayed, and linked for human readers. There is no meaning to information. Then what we want? We want to process the meaning of information automatically, to relate and integrate heterogeneous data, to reduce the implicit information from existing information in an automated way. Okay, so next comes the introduction of semantic web. So what does really the semantic web does? Okay, so it explicitly annotate metadata with the meaning that can be read and processed correctly by machines. So we have different machine learning algorithms, we have different natural algorithms. Okay, so nowadays the Google or the different search engines also work on the semantic web, where we search for a particular word but it gives an alternative words also. So that is also working on the concept of semantic webs. Okay, semantics. What is semantics? It is a part of linguistics focused on sense and meaning of language or symbols of language. It is a study of interpretation of sign or symbols as used by agents or communities within particular circumstances and context. Semantics Semantics asks how sense and meaning of complex systems can be derived from simple concepts based on the rules of syntax. So based upon the rules of syntax, we can able to find how the concepts has been evolved by using the semantics. The semantics of a message depends of its context and pragmatic. Okay, depends upon the context, the semantics will appear. The semantic web provides a common framework that allows data to be shared, reused across application, enterprise, and community boundaries. So this was given by the W3 schools, World Wide Web Consortium 3 schools. Okay, where it provides semantic web provides a common framework that allows data to be shared and reused across application. So across application, we can able to share the data. The first step in putting the data on the web is in the form that machines can naturally understand or converting it to that form. This creates what I call a semantic web, a web of data that can be processed directly or indirectly by machines. Okay, so this statement was given by Tim Berners-Lee. So Tim Berners-Lee says that semantic web is nothing but a web of data that can be processed directly or indirectly by machines. So he says data can be processed, a web of data that can be processed either directly or indirectly by machines. It is called as a semantic web. The semantic web is an extension of the current web in which information is given well-defined meaning better, enabling computers and people to work in cooperation. This also was given by Tim Berners-Lee. Okay, so here is the architecture of the uh, semantic web protocols. Okay, where we have a user interfaces and applications, and we have a crypto, trust, proofing, unifying logic. So this ontology, web ontology language, okay, ontology web language is nothing but more vocabulary for describing properties and classes. So this description we have here to describe the properties and the classes. And this resource description framework RDF is mainly used for the vocabulary for describing the properties and classes of resource description based resources. Okay, and here we have the query parallel queue for a protocol and query semantic language, language semantic web and the data sources, semantic web and data sources, and data interchange format resource description framework we have for a simple language for expressing data models which refer to objects and their relations. Okay, so these are the architecture of a semantic web. Okay, so next is the with this image you can able to find the next concept is going to be cloud computing. Okay, so cloud computing provides us a means by which we can access the application as utilities over the internet. It allows us to create, configure, and customize application online. Okay, so using this we can able to create, we can able to configure, we can able to customize applications online. Okay, so with cloud computing, users can access database resources via the internet from anywhere for as long as they need without worrying about maintenance or management of actual resources. Okay, so if you have your data in cloud, there is no worry about to maintenance. There is no need of maintenance. There is no worry about to manage. How do you manage the resources? Okay, so if it is in cloud, the third party application, the third party organizations or the companies which are going to get the cloud servers will manage or will maintain the applications or the documents, whatever they are going to save in their cloud. Okay, the term cloud refers to network or internet. Okay, in other words, we can say that cloud is something which is present at a remote location. Okay, cloud can provide service over a network that is on a public network or a private network using WAN, LAN, or VPN. Okay, so there can be a cloud can be termed as a network or internet. In other words, a cloud is something which is present in a remote location. So we cannot able to see the cloud where it is present, but it is present somewhere else in the remote. Okay, we can able to access the data at any time and any place. Applications such as email, web conferencing, customer relationship management, all run in the cloud. Okay, so cloud computing refers to manipulation, configuring, and accessing the applications online. It offers online data storage, infrastructure, and applications also. So cloud computing is also both in combination of software and hardware based computing resources delivered as a network service. So it is also having a combination of both software and also hardware based computing resources which is delivered through the network. Okay, so this is the architecture of a cloud computing where this is the end user, that is the user. Okay, so here we have the intermediate, that is the front end, where we have a browser, Google document, PC, through which we can able to access the cloud. And here also we have the end user by which we can able to access the application layer using this applet programming interface. We can able to access the data using this applet programming interface. And the software developer will work on the platform layer. Network system administrator will work on the infrastructure layer and the hardware layer. Okay, so these are the different types of management and securities which are enabled in each layer to ensure the data is not being theft or is not being accessed by any other. Okay, so in application we have this SAS, platform layer we have this database storage, infrastructure layer we have the virtual machine storage and the servers, hardware layer we have the different hardware mechanisms. Okay, so this is a cloud computing architecture. Okay, so basically there are two types of model. One is a deployment model, another one is a service model. In deployment model, it defines the type of access to the cloud, how the cloud is located. Okay, where how the cloud is located, whether the cloud is of public cloud, whether the cloud is of private, hybrid, or community cloud, can be of four types of access. Okay, so how do you access this cloud? Okay, and where the cloud is being located, and how do you access? Okay, so these are the deployment model. So what is meant by a public cloud? So public cloud is nothing but in a public cloud environment, services are provided over the internet by the third party providers. Okay, so the internet is being provided by third party providers. These services are available to anyone who wants to use or purchase them. Public cloud services are often offered on a pay per use subscription basis or accessible through standard internet protocol. Example, AWS, that is Amazon Web Server. Okay, so if you want to purchase a server, if you want to have any space in the cloud, you can able to just pay them and purchase the cloud space in the cloud. Okay, so here you can use want to use or purchase them. It is on the subscription basis in Amazon Web Server example. What is a private cloud? A private cloud is operated solely for a single organization. It may be managed by the organization itself or by a third party, and it can be located on the premises or off premises. Private clouds are often greater control and customization compared to public clouds, but they also require more resources and expertise to manage. Okay, so in public cloud, you does not require a technical expert to be associated with us every time. Okay, since the cloud is on the server, since the server is on the cloud, it is up to the third party application who is going to manage and maintain the server. Okay, if we have a private cloud with us, okay, so then we should need to have a technical person with us to maintain and manage those servers. And what is a hybrid cloud? So hybrid cloud is the combination of the public cloud and the private cloud. Combines elements of both public and private cloud. It allows organization to use a mix of on-premises infrastructure, private cloud services, and private cloud services, depending on their specific needs and requirements. So hybrid cloud is nothing but it is a combination of private cloud and the public cloud, where the organization can make the decision where the cloud should be set up and whether the maintenance and the storage capability, maintenance, and infrastructure facilities, what are going to provide, can be decided by the organization or the management. Community cloud. A community cloud is shared by multiple organizations with common concerns, such as regulatory compliance or industry-specific requirements. It is managed and used by a group of organizations that have shared interests, such as government agencies, healthcare providers, or education institutions. Okay, community clouds offer benefits such as shared infrastructure costs, collaborative opportunities, and tailored services for specific communities or industries. Okay, in community cloud, what you can do is you can have multiple organizations can be put together to form a single group. Okay, it is like a consortium kind of thing where it can be used by a group of organizations that have a shared interest. For example, if it are government agencies or healthcare providers, so they can all put together to form a consortium, and that consortium can create a community cloud by which they can be able to share the same resource. Okay, that is an example of community cloud. Okay, so in cloud computing, there is two models. One is deployment model and a service model. And in deployment model, we have to first see where the cloud is being located. And basically, there are four types of models access in deployment model. One is a public, private, hybrid, and community. And next comes the service model. In service model, there are being three types. One is infrastructure as service, platform as a service, and software as a service. So infrastructure as a service is nothing but provides virtualized computing resources over the internet. These resources typically include virtual machines, storage, and networking capabilities. In infrastructure as a service, customers have control over the underlying infrastructure, such as operating system, applications, and development phases frameworks. Okay, here in this infrastructure as a service, where the customer will have the full control upon the infrastructure, what type of operating system can be employed, what are the applications that have been installed, and the development what can be made in the framework. Okay, and in the platform as a service, in platform as a service provides a platform allowing customers to develop, run, and manage applications without the complexity of building and maintaining the underlying infrastructure. Okay, here the organization does not worry about how the building and the maintaining the underlying infrastructure. Here the customers has to follow only how to develop the content, how to run the cloud, and how to manage those applications. Okay, and next is software as a service. In software as a service delivers software application over the internet on a subscription basis. Users can access these applications through a web browser or API without needing them to install or manage any software locally. Okay, so without installing or without able using this API, we can able to access the applications. So some of the examples like Gmail, productivity tools like Microsoft Office 365, customer relationship management. Okay, so some of the examples of the software as a service. So basically in cloud computing, we have two models. One is deployment model and the service model. In deployment model, we have four types. One is private mode and another one is the private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud and community cloud. In service model, we have three different structures. One is an infrastructure as a service, platform as a service and software as a service. Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service and a software as a service. So what are the basic advantages of a cloud? If we have a cloud, what are the advantages we have? We have improved performance, we can have reduced software cost, we can have the instant software updates, improved document for format compatibility, unlimited storage capacity, increased storage, increased data reliability, universal document access, and device independence. So these are the basic advantages of having a cloud. And what are the disadvantages? Required a constant internet connection, does not work well with low speed connections, features might be limited, can be slow, stored data can be lost. Okay, so these are some of the disadvantages of having a cloud infrastructure. Okay, so next we will be seeing about the neural networks. So basically, a neural network is nothing about a method of computing based on interaction of multiple connected processing elements. Okay, so neural networks are nothing but based upon the existent data, the machine will process the or using some of the algorithms, it will process the data and with the existing results, whatever it have, it will publish the result. That is the concept of neural network. Okay. So in neural network, we have multiple neurons associated with this network. All the neurons are connected together to form a neural network. Okay. A method of computing based on the interaction of multiple connected processing elements. So as I said earlier, we have here multiple nodes are being connected together to form this neural network. A powerful technique to solve many real world problems. So using this neural network, many real life problems can be solved. The ability to learn from experience and to improve their performance, ability to deal with incomplete information. So if you have any incomplete information also, the existing data, whatever we have provided, it will provide us a complete information. It consists of interconnected nodes called neurons or the artificial neurons organized in layers. Okay, so neural network is nothing but it has a connected nodes or which is termed as a neuron. Okay, so all these neurons are connected together to form this neural network. Each neuron receives input signal, performs a computation, and generates an output signal that may be passed to other neurons. Okay, so each neuron will be processing its own result and it will be passing the information to other neurons. Neural networks can be used for various tasks, including pattern recognition, classification, regression, and sequence prediction. So for all these applications, we are using this neural network concept. Okay. And what are the applications of neural network? Some of the applications are pattern recognition, investment analysis, control systems and monitoring, mobile computing, marketing and financial application, forecasting of sales, market research, and meteorology. Okay. Nowadays we can say tomorrow it will be more sunny thing. Tomorrow there might be a thunderstorm. Okay. So all these predictions are made using the examples of a neural network. Okay. So based upon the existing data and based upon analyzing all those existing data by the neurons and with the data what we are feeding in the real-time environment, all this will put together will be constituting as a future data which will be defined as a neural network. Okay, so what are the advantages of neural network? A neural network can perform tasks that a linear program cannot. When an element of a neural network fails, it can continue with any problem because of its parallel nature. A neural network learns and does not need to be programmed. It can be implemented in any application. Neural network can perform parallel processing, enabling them to handle large volumes of data, complex computation efficiently, especially when deployed on specialized hardware like GPU and TPUs. Okay, so general processing unit and tetra processing unit, nothing but where we have more number of work to be done. Okay, so in that case, a neural network has been employed. So what are the disadvantages of neural network? Neural networks require large amount of labeled data for training, and their performance may be degraded when faced with insufficient or noisy data. Training neural networks can be computationally intensive and time consuming, especially for deep architectures with many layers and parameters. Deep neural networks require significant computational resources, including powerful CPUs and GPUs, for training and inference, as well as sufficient memory and storage capacity. For training of all the neurons, okay, neurons are interconnected together. For training of these neurons, also we require powerful CPUs for making them to have more trainings with sufficient memory and storage capacity also. Okay, so these are the concept of the neural networks. Okay, so in this chapter we have seen three concepts. One is semantic web. Okay, so semantic web we have seen with the introduction of web. What is a web? What are the different types of networks? Local area network, wide network, and metropolitan area networks. And then we have seen the architecture of a web. And then we have seen the semantic webs, the architecture of a semantic web. And then second part we have seen the cloud computing. What does mean by cloud computing? Okay, and also we have seen the cloud computing architecture. So along with that, we have seen the models or the different models, deployment model and the service model. So in deployment model, we have seen the four steps. One is the public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and community cloud. And in service model, there are three basic service models. One is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Okay. So after seeing that, we have seen the advantages and disadvantages of cloud computing. And next, we have seen what is a neural network, what are the applications of neural network, where are the place in which neural networks can be employed, and what are the advantages of neural network, and also the we have seen what are the disadvantages of the neural network. Okay, so next we will be seeing about the third chapter. The third chapter is basically about the scripting languages. Okay, okay. So the third chapter is about the scripting languages. So in this chapter, we will be okay. So okay. So first we will see what is meant by a website. So website is nothing but a website is a collection of related web pages containing images, videos, or other digital assets. A website is hosted on at least one web server, accessible via a network such as an internet or a private LAN through an internet address known as Uniform Resource Locator. Okay. All publicly accessible websites collectively constitutes the World Wide Web. So all the websites, whatever we are having in the internet, will be constituted as a World Wide Web. A web page is a document typically written in plain text, interspersed with formatting instruction of hypertext markup language, either HTML or XHTML. Okay. A web page may incorporate elements from other websites with suitable markup anchors. So we have seen some of the anchors. Okay, angle tag A. Okay, so using this angle tag A, we can able to import some of the other websites into this our own web pages. Web pages are accessed and transported with hypertext transfer protocol, which may optionally employ encryption to provide security and privacy for the user of web page content. The user's application, often a web browser, renders the page content according to its HTML markup translation onto a display terminal. Okay, so this is the basic introduction of a website. So why basically we need website? We need website to promote our product, promote our services, to promote our organization, to promote our ideas, to promote the events, sell organization, sell services, and sell the product. So these are the basic requirements for creation of a website. So who created this World Wide Web? The World Wide Web was created by Tim Berners-Lee in the year 1990. Okay, So upon the introduction, upon the creation of the World Wide Web, only we can able to make the extension of transfer protocol, HTTP protocol, HTTP, HTML markup languages, XML markup language, extensible markup languages. Okay, so different scripting languages came into existence. Okay, so uh, okay, so how does this website can be accessed? A website can be accessed using an internet address known as a uniform resource locator. Okay, so what are the different types of websites we have? So the different types of websites are nothing but a static website, a dynamic website, and a flash-based website. Okay, so basically, what is a static, what is dynamic, and what is flash-based websites is nothing but static websites are the interactive websites where we don't have any interactive elements. Okay, dynamic websites where we have a interactive elements. Okay, so that is a small explanation of the static and the dynamic website. So what is static? So static websites are also known as flat or stationary websites. So we don't have any movable elements in the static websites. They are loaded on the client's browser as exactly they are stored on the web server. Okay, so there whatever we are going to load in the server will be displayed in the client. Such websites contain only static information. Users can only read the information but cannot do any modification or interact with the information. So they can only do make any modification. So they cannot do any modification. They can just see what is available on the screen. Static websites are created using only HTML, hypertext markup language. Static websites are only used when the information is fixed, need not to be changed or modified. So if we don't want the information to be modified or changed in a frequent manner, then we can use HTML in the case of static websites. Static websites are the cheapest to develop and host, and many smaller companies still use to get a web presence. Use this to get a web presence. Okay, so many organizations, many institutions, if they want to create a website, they can use a HTML and they can create a static website. Okay, the simple forms or example of this type of websites are classic websites, a 5-page websites or browser website are often static websites because they present predefined static information to the user. So there is no more kind of a dynamic or interactive elements which are enabled in a static website. It is only stationary. This may include information about a company, its products and services via text, photos, animation, audio, video, and interactive menus and navigation. Okay, so this is an architecture of a static website where this is the web browser or a client and this is a web server. Okay, so the static web pages will be available in the web server. So once the client, okay, using a web browser, the client requests for a web page, okay, through internet. And when when he or she requests the web page, the request will be transformed to the web server. The web server, what it will do, it will directly reply the web page using an HTML file to the internet, and from internet it transforms to the web browser. Okay, so there is no kind or any kind of processing is happening into it. It just fetches the web pages and it is replying back to the server client. Okay, so a client is giving a request and the HTML web page, what it does is static web page, it is being sending back the uh, static web page to the client. Okay, in case, so what are the basic advantages? This is the fastest and most efficient way to deliver content. It does not require any code to execute or any database to be accessed. database where it used to store the data. Okay, so here what it does, it process. Web server is processing a request using PHP interpreter, and it gives the reply in the form of dynamic web page. Okay, and the user can able to view the dynamic web page. But in case of a static web page here, the request, whatever is being given as a request, the server will send a static web page, web page HTML file. This is a static web page. But here we can find there is a dynamic web page which is being sent back to the user. Okay, so this is an architecture form of a dynamic website. Okay. So what are the basic advantages of dynamic website? Much more functional website, much easier to update. New content brings people back to the site and helps in the search engines. And the disadvantage is slower and more expensive to develop. Okay, we are going to add more interactive elements. We are going to add more images, videos into the web page. Then it will become slow to load and more expensive. Okay, so creation of a static web page does not require more expensive, but creation of a dynamic web page will create more expensive. Okay, and the third type of website is a flash based website, where the flash based websites are special type of websites that do not use HTML at all. Okay, in flash based website which does not use a HTML at all for their creation of the website, they are created using special software, and the result is a single file that contains all the individual pages. Okay, so in a single file all the individual pages will be fed and it will be displayed. A well designed flash websites can be impressive, can provide a smooth user experience. The problem with the flash website is that the search engine robots cannot access it. Okay, so the difficulty of using a flash based website is that it cannot be accessed by the robots or the search engines. So for search engine optimization and to make a ranking in the web pages, it is difficult for the search engines. One can build a website using a WordPress or site builder. Okay, you can also create a flash based website using a WordPress or site builder, two open source applications. And what are the different categories of websites? So we have seen the different types of websites. One is a dynamic website, static website, and flash-based websites. What are the different categories? So how can the websites be created using different categories? So one can create websites for personal websites, photo sharing websites, writer and author websites, community building websites, mobile device websites, blogs, information websites, and so on. Okay, so these are the different categories of the websites. So how do you design a website? Okay, so these are the different types by which a website can be designed. Affiliate site, a site tries to sell a product of others in order to get a commission from the owner. Okay, so affiliation site, archive site, where they have archives all accessible websites in the internet. Okay, they have blogs for displaying their own interest. Okay, or their own content. Community site, content site, classified ad site where it publishes classified advertisements. Okay, corporate site, dating site, and we have e-commerce site. Okay, a site which sells product online, and we have forums also, and we have game sites, information sites, microblog sites, news site, personal site, and phishing site. Okay, so these are the different sites, website type by which a website can be designed. And next comes the application of World Wide Web. Okay, so introduction of World Wide Web was started from Tim Berners-Lee from 1960s. Okay, and then the introduction of the World Wide Web of Web 1.0, and then Web 1.0 and Web 3.0, which is currently existing. Okay, what is Web 1.0? Web 1.0 refers to the early version of World Wide Web, which was entirely made up of web pages connected by hyperlinks. Okay, so we have only hyperlinks being connected with the World Wide Web. Okay, Web 1.0 is a static website that are not yet providing interactive content. So in Web 1.0, we have only the static web pages. In Web 1.0, applications were also generally proprietary. Exactly where Web 1.0 ends, Web 2.0 begins. It happens gradually over the time as internet became more interactive. So when the internet has become more interactive, then Web 2.0 application started to begin. So what is Web 2.0? Web 2.0 is characterized by greater user interactivity and collaboration, more pervasive network connectivity, and enhanced communication channels. In Web 2.0 is an example of a dynamic web pages where we have greater user interactivity. We could have to able to have more collaboration and we could have a more pervasive network connectivity and more communication channels also. Technologies used in delivering Web 2.0 are rich web technologies like Adobe Flash, Microsoft Silverlight, JavaScript. Okay, and what are the characteristics of Web 2.0? So, according to Tim Berners-Lee, he defined Web 2.0 in these characteristics. That is, the ability for visitors to make changes to web pages. So, the visitors can able to make changes to web pages. For example, Amazon allow visitors to post product reviews that future visitors will be able to read. So, in a web page itself, users can able to make changes in the web page. Using web pages to link people to other users. Social networking sites like Facebook, MySpace are popular to find each other and keep in touch. Okay, we are able to link to other people. Fast and efficient ways to share the content. So here YouTube is an example where you can able to share your content with others to a larger audience. New ways to get information. Really simple syndication RSS feed where we can able to receive notification of that web page update as long as they maintain an internet connection. Okay, really simple syndication is an application where you can able to give your email ID. So if there is any update from the institution or organization, you will get an automatic email. Okay, so these are the different characteristics which was defined by Tim Berners-Lee as the characteristics of Web 2.0. So next comes what are the elements of Web 2.0. So some of the elements called as mobile computing. The trend is enabled by proliferation of smartphones, tablets, and other mobile devices in conjunction with readily accessible Wi-Fi network. And we have social networking. Social networking sites include Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google+. And we have a collaborative environment. Collaborative efforts made on the ability to reach larger number of participants and their collaborative resources such as crowdsourcing and crowdfunding. User-generated content, writing, images, audio, and video content among other possibilities made freely accessible, available online by the individuals who created. So user can be able to generate the content. Social curation, the collaborative sharing of content of organized around one or more particular theme or topic. So using these applications, we can be able to create a social platform. Okay. So next comes the Web 3.0. Okay, so Web 3.0 is the current existing web applications. Okay, so according to Tim O'Reilly, Web 3.0 is connective intelligence, connecting data, concepts, applications, and ultimately people. Okay, so Web 3.0 might be defined as a third generation of the web enabled by the convergence of several key emerging technologies, which are unambiguous connectivity, network computing, open technologies, and intelligent web. So using these four, the Web 3.0 can be developed. Okay, so this is about Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and Web 3.0. Okay, so up to this we have seen what is meant by a website, what are the different types of website. There are three different types: static website, dynamic website, and flash-based website. Different categories of website, why a website is being created. And next we have seen what are the different types of webs, that is Web 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0, its characteristics and its elements. Okay, so next we will be seeing about the markup languages. Okay, so for designing of these web pages or websites, we need certain markup languages to be known. Okay, so using those markup languages only we can be able to design the web pages. So some of the how does the web work? Okay, the web information is stored in the form of web pages, that is HTML format. The web pages are stored in computers called web servers. The computers reading the web page is called as a web client with a specific web browser. Okay, so the computer reading the web pages are called as web clients. Okay, the web server waits for the request from the web clients over the internet. So who is going to send the request? The web client is going to send the request, and it will be processed by the web server, and it will be displayed, returned back to the web client. Okay, so here you can find this is a web client. Okay, so in web client, a request is being sent to the server. What the server does, the server processes the request, and in the form, the request will be processed in the form of HTML codes and program scripts. So it is a two-way communication. Okay, of the program scripts, and then the request is being processed and it's being sent back to the client as a response. Okay, so this is the HTTP response model of a client server architecture. Okay, so who defines the web standard? So there must be some standards for web. Okay, so who defines? So World Wide Web Consortium, W3 schools. Okay, so those are the consortium who defines the web standards. Okay, so they define the HTML standard and they define the other scripting language standards, CSS style sheet standards. Okay, so those they define how a web should defined, how a web should be designed or developed. Okay, so W3C states that it says in a long-term process as universal access, semantic web, and web of trust. Okay, so these three are being done by the Web of Three, that is World Wide Web Consortium schools. Okay, how does the markup languages came into existence? The markup language came into existence in 1970s with the introduction of the generalized markup language. Okay, so generalized markup language was the first introduced in the year 1970s, and then standard generalized markup language was introduced in the 1980s, and currently we are in the age of XML, extensible markup languages. Okay, so in between this there was introduction of HTML. Okay, HTML was also introduced, and then from HTML we can able to find this XML, extensible markup languages. So what are markup languages? Markup languages are designed for processing, definition, and presentation of text. So markup languages we are using to process, we are using to define, and we are going to present the text. The language specifies code for formatting both the layout and style within a text file. Okay, so in our practical classes also we can able to find. So we write a sample HTML code where we can able to modify the layout, and also we can able to modify the style of the content. Okay, the code uses to specify the formatting are called as tags. Okay, so we use tags, we use paragraph tag, we used break tag. Okay, so all these tags within angular brackets are called as tags, which are used to specify the formatting. HTML is an example of a widely known and used markup language. So in HTML we are using, it is more widely used among the other markup languages. So what are the markup functions? So some of the markup functions are nothing but structural functions, descriptive function, presentational function, and referential functions. Okay, what is a structural function? In structural function, you can able to find, we can able to have a proper structure. Okay, so this is, I have written this code using an extensible markup language. Okay, instead of this, we can also use HTML markup language, which you all know, like HTML. Okay, so those things also we can use. Here you can find it is using a structural markup languages where there's a proper structure in the content. And what is a descriptive markup language? So in descriptive markup language, here you can find, here we can able to make some descriptions. Okay, here there is a this is a sample markup languages where it defines, it is going to send an email. Okay, so here you can find a proper description is for giving for each tag, that is called as a description markup language. And in presentational markup language, we are going to make some modifications in the presentation. So here you can find some of the formatting options like write justify. Okay, so write justify, bold, and underline. So we are going to design, or we are going to make some presentational look, a proper presentational look in the display of the image, the display of the web page. And what is a relational markup language? So relational markup language is nothing but where we have going to give a hyperlink. Okay, so hyperlink is nothing but a href using an anchor tag. Okay, so we are using an anchor tag and we are going to give this hyperlink, that is URL. Okay, so this is an relational markup language. Okay, so what is a generalized markup language? So generalized markup language was started from the year 1967. Okay, so from that it has been evolved, and in generalized markup language you can find a main structure. So from the main structure we have a subdivision. Okay, so in author there is a subdivision for each structure. So this is an example given with an expect to a metadata format of a book. Okay, so for title you have a full description, and for a short description, and for author you have a name and association. For publication you have publisher, year, location, ISBN. Okay, so there must be a top level community, and from the top level community you should have a sub community, that is a GML, generalized markup structure. Okay, these are some. Okay, next comes the hypertext markup language. So hypertext markup language is a structured markup language that is used to create web pages. A markup language such as HTML is simply a collection of codes called elements that are used to indicate the structure and format of a document. Okay, so we know that there are many HTML markup language tags. Okay, so break tags and HTML bold tags, HTML tags, body tags. Okay, and element names are not case sensitive. So we know that HTML tags are not case sensitive. An element such as HTML is equivalent to small case of HTML. Okay, XML is case sensitive, but HTML is non-case sensitive. What are the features of HTML? HTML is a content-based or structured markup language where the codes describe what the content of the documents are. Okay, it is platform independent. It can be used in multiple platforms. HTML is not a programming language. It is a markup language. Okay, it describes the content. HTML is not a page layout language with only few exceptions. HTML tags are concerned with the structure of a document rather than its appearance. So we are going to make the modification. We are going to alter the content of the document. Okay, and editor for HTML. Okay, HTML is a plain text file. It's a simple text editor to create the tag. Okay, so we are using a text pad, text notepad or a text pad for creating the HTML code. And then what we are doing, we are going to save the file with the name of .html. Okay, so once we save the file with .html, then the text file will be automatically converted into a web page. Okay, that is it will open in a web browser. Okay, so these are different versions of HTML. So HTML1 in 1989, HTML2 in 1994. So these are the different HTML versions. So how does a HTML document structure looks? HTML document structure will start from angular bracket HTML, and each angular bracket HTML there will be a closing slash HTML, and for head there will be a closing head. So these are called as when a tag which is having a opening tag and a closing tag is called as a paired tags. Okay, for example, if you have a break tag angular bracket BR, so for BR there is no slash BR. Okay, so the slash BR is not required. So these tags are called as standalone tags or unpaired tags. Okay, here you have a body tag and a slash body tag. Okay, so this is an example of a basic HTML document. And we have seen many other HTML tags in our practical classes also, where we have H1, H2, H3, H4, H5 as the heading tags, paragraph tag, anchor tags for hyperlinks, unordered list, ordered list, and image source for linking of images. Okay, next is extensible markup language. Extensible markup language is nothing but XML. Okay, so simplified of SGML, flexible content management tools, W3C recommendations also available for extensible markup language. In extensible can add new elements without the document type definition, and it is the future of the web. So okay, so HTML is the past website creation technology. Now the creation of web pages are using the extensible markup languages. So XML stands for extensible markup language. So XML is a markup language such like HTML structurally. XML was designed to describe the data. XML are not predefined. You must define your own tags. Okay. So XML tags are not predefined, like bold, italics are not predefined, but we have to define the own tag. XML might use a document type definition to describe the data. Okay, so here we can find an example of an XML. Okay, so these are the document definitions, and here we are defining our own XML tag. So here we have bibliography. So for each opening tag, there is a closing tag. Okay, and book ISBN we are defining here, the title. So for title, we are having a closing tag, and for author, publisher, book. Okay, so for book, we have a slash book. Okay, and this with content within the tag is called as the attributes. Okay, so this is called as attributes. Okay, so here this is an example of an XML, extensible markup language code. So some other markup languages also available, that is vector graphics markup language, speech synthesis markup language, okay, directory service markup language, chemical markup languages. Okay, so these are some other markup languages which are in existence. Okay, so up to this we have seen the markup languages. This what is meant by a website, who introduced the website by 1990 by Tim Berners-Lee. Okay, and then the different types of websites: static website, dynamic websites, and flash-based website. Also, we have seen the why a website is being created, and the different what are the different stages of web. It is web 1.0, web 2.0, and web 3.0. What are the elements of each web 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0? And then we have seen what is meant by a markup language. We have also seen what is meant by HTML markup language, XML markup language, okay, and the elements of the markup languages also, how the structure looks like, and the basic elements of the different markup languages. Okay. So one more thing is the scripting languages. Okay. So along with markup languages, you should must be knowing about the scripting languages also. Okay. So in a client-server architecture, which we discussed earlier on a network, the client computer can be considered as a user computer connected to the user. Server is a computer that provides some kind of resources to the client computer. That's the client and the server architecture. Okay. So in scripting language, a scripting language is a high-level language that is used to work alongside other applications. Okay, it will work along with other applications for display of the text. Scripting languages tends to be interpreted rather than to be compiled. Okay, so for markup languages, we need to compile the markup languages, but in scripting languages, we need to be interpret rather than the compile. Okay, so what we are going to do here in client-side scripting, JavaScript is an example of a client-side scripting language for a web page. Okay, it can be used to develop interactivity on a web page. For example, we can develop a calculator, we can able to introduce a clock, input validation of text field. All these things can be done using JavaScript, okay, inside the web page. In server side scripting means that all code is executed on the server before the data is passed to the user browsers. The result returned to the client will typically be a HTML created by the server script. In other words, a dynamic web page. So in dynamic web page will be the result which will be displayed to the user in the form of a server side scripting. So next comes the cascading style sheet. So what is the cascading style sheet? A cascading style sheet is nothing but is a style sheet language used for the describing of presentation used for describing the presentation of a document within a markup language like HTML. Okay, so in cascading style sheet, we are going to add some elements or add some attributes inside the markup languages. Okay, CSS separates the content of a web page from its design, allowing developers to control the layout, color, fonts, and other visual aspects of the web pages. So what CSS will do, we can able to web page from its design, allowing developers to control that we can able to control the layout, we can able to control the colors, we can able to control the font, that is formatting option, and other visual aspects of the web page. Okay, so what are the key elements of a cascading style sheet? So key elements are nothing but the selectors, properties, and values. So cascading style sheet selectors are patterns used to select the HTML element that you want to style. They can target elements by their tag name, class, ID, attributes, or even their relationship to other elements. Okay, so whenever you are going to change any formatting option, when you are going to change the look of the content, we can use the CSS element for selecting those. And properties. CSS properties define the visual appearance of selected elements. They include properties for setting colors, fonts, margins, padding, borders, and more. Okay, these are some of the properties. And values. CSS properties are assigned values that specify how they should affect the selected elements. For example, the color property might have a value of red, or if this is a binary format, to set the text color. Okay, so selectors, properties, and values are the key elements of a cascading style sheet. So here you can find what is the cascading style sheet. Standard based set of properties and attributes to define styles. Okay, here you can find the command has been written in HTML or XML. Here you can find the rules to determine how to apply markup that contains on markup language. Here you can find a body tag, and you can find a divisional tag, and you can find a paragraph tag. So here the paragraph, here the content is. So how the content will be changed? Separate the content from the form. Okay, the cascading style sheet will separate the content from the form. Content is the text and images marked up to define regions of specific type. Okay, in older way, how we can mention here, you can find the font size is 14 pixel. Here you can this is an example of XML. Okay, font size and slash font size of 12 pixel, color red, face turned up. The information will be going here and slash font, and again the font size, the second information. Okay, in type of cascading style sheet, how we are going to do is separate the content from the form. So the content will be at the top and the form or the style. So what we will do, we will first define the class. Okay, so we are defining the class as p class header, my first header, p class info, my information, p class header of my second header, p class info as the different information goes here. This is the content. Okay, so first we will define the class, and what we will do, we will revoke or we will invoke the class from a styles. Okay, from this, these are called as functions. So dot header, this is nothing but, so wherever this header is there, this font size 14 pixel will apply. So this 14 font size 14 pixel will be applied to this header, and 14 pixel will be applied to this header. Okay, and dot info, this class will be applied where the information is been called here. So different information will go here, and this my information info. So for these information, and this information will be called from the functions dot info. Okay, so we are going to separate the content from the form. So the content will be in separate and the form will be in separate. Okay, so this is an example. This is the use of the cascading style sheet. So what we can do here is specify the style once for every instance of that class. Okay, here what we did, we specified the instance. Okay, for dot header we defined the style. For dot info we define the style. Okay, so using this we define the style. And here the style sheet can be a separate file which all the HTML pages on your entire site can link to. Only have to specify the style once for an entire style on entire site. Okay, so we can define the style only once for the entire website. Here also we are going to define the style for entire website. By using this dot header and dot info, we can able to call this information into different content. So next is CSS skinning. So CSS skinning, also known as CSS theming or CSS styling, refers to the process of customizing the appearance of a website or web application using cascading style sheets. Okay, this customization typically involves altering the colors, fonts, spacing, backgrounds, and other visual elements to create a unique look and feel that matches the branding or designing the requirement. So skinning is nothing but changing the look or page of your site, changing the theme or styling the web page. That is called as skinning. Okay, selecting an appearance by choosing which style sheet to use. In cascading style sheet also we can use. Okay, here you can find link rel equal to style sheet, type, and then reference. The reference is this style. We are going to import this skin1.css. It is going to be imported here. Okay, so href is, they are going to hyperlink this. So what is in skin1.css? It is dot info, where the function is defined as background color is white and the font family is Verdana and the font color is blue. Okay, so all these modification or all these style they are going to revoke here in the href skin.css. Okay, so after doing this, their information how it will go, background color is white, font family is Verdana, and font color is blue. So the output will be like this. Okay, so there is CSS skinning. And the second type is CSS skinning too, where the changing the look of a page or a site, selecting an appearance by choosing which style sheet to use. Okay, here you can find, okay, here you can find the same concept. Okay, the same concept here, skin2.css. So here skin1.css, where they are going to import the skin2. Okay, so here it will be skin2. In skin2, background color equal to blue, font family serif, and font color as white. Okay, so this skin2.css they are going to import here, and the output will be resulted here. Okay, so how does the CSS syntax does? Okay, CSS syntax is nothing but where we have three elements. One is selector, property, and value. So this also we can in paragraph tag also we have mentioned in our practical class, where Angular 3 bracket we have a property and we have a colon and then we had a value. Okay, similarly here in CSS also we have a selector, we will have a property and then we have a value. Okay, so h1 is the heading tag and color colon red. So the red is the color being applied to the header tag. Okay, so this is the CSS syntax. So how does this occurs? Okay, CSS syntax in form of selectors. Okay, so here you can find HTML type tag selected with the tag type, where it's a paragraph tag, font size 10 pixel, and font color as white. Okay, font color as white. P and then content. So here what they did, they import this my info here, and the font size is 10 pixel, font color as white, and the class is being invoked here, my info class they are going to define as my info. Okay, so all these modifications will be defined in this format as the cascading style sheet selectors. Okay, and then the cascading inheritance. Nested elements inherit the properties from its parent. Okay, so we are going to define only one at the parent, and all these children and all the subordinates will accommodate all the modifications whatever we make. Okay, so in body we are going to make font family Verdana and font size 14 pixel. So all the text within the body will be changed according to this style whatever you are going to make. Okay, so if you specify a style for the body tag, okay, it will affect all the content in your HTML page. So when we define a body tag at the top, then all the content within the body tag will change according to the modifications what we have given. That is called as cascading inheritance. Okay, okay, and next we will be seeing about the reference management speed up. In reference management tools, so reference management tools are nothing but where it is being used to manage all the references wherever we are using in a journal application, journal articles, or we are using in a thesis, dissertations, wherever. Okay, so we need some application to manage all the references whatever we are going to use. Okay, so some of the examples of reference management softwares are nothing but Zotero, Mendeley, EndNote, Riftwork, SiteV, and Redcube. Okay, so the basic features of all the reference management software are nothing but they have browser integration with them. Okay, you can integrate, you can have a application installed in your software, and also you can have a cloud-based application also. You have organizational tools, citation management, PDF management, okay, synchronizing and collaboration, community and support for future development. So these are the basic features of Zotero. And for EndNote, we have reference collection, organizational tools, citation management, PDF management, synchronizing and collaboration, integration with online resources, technical support and training. Okay, similarly for EndNote also we have these things. Okay, so this is the small introduction of this reference management tools. Also, you can manage the references in your Microsoft Word. Also, you have references option in Microsoft Word, where you can able to import the metadata of the books or the research articles you are going to cite, and based upon the citation style, you can change the citation aspects whatever you want. Okay, so this is an introduction of this reference management softwares. Okay, so uh, I will stop up to this. Okay, and in afternoon class, I will be covering about the basics of HTML. Okay, so what are the different HTML tags we have seen in the practical classes in Shahid Rajguru College. So along with that, we will be having introductory class of the Drupal content management system. Okay, content management software, management system. So I will explain you how to install the Drupal software in your laptop or PC, and then we will see how to add content in Drupal and how to make some modification, some theme modification of themes also in this Drupal software. Okay, so I hope this session is clear for you all. If you have any queries, you can please raise your hand. I will enable the mic for you. Okay. All these PPTs have been already shared in the Google Drive. You can access all those PPTs. Okay. So if there is no queries, I will wind up the session for now. And in afternoon class, I think it's 2 p.m. Okay. So that time I will be explaining the HTML programming, and then we'll be seeing how to use this content management software Drupal. Okay. So thank you so much.